let's be real. Most of us are looking in the wrong place. We're looking for a vehicle, a medium, a way to make us a millionaire. You see the headline, like, right? So reprogramming you to be a millionaire. What does that mean? And all of us were looking outside of us to try to find how we can be wealthy, how we can be rich. When the truth is, it's in you. It's the inner game. And I've talked to a lot of people with a lot of money who are successful, and most all of them who are happy and fulfilled, because there's a lot of rich people that they're not happy, will tell you what I'm going to show you in this video. So I'm going to reprogram you right now. And I'm super excited about this video. I've been putting this together. I've been putting this together in my mind way before I started working on this, man. This is my calling. I get so excited about this. And this is what I live for. This is what's changed my life. And I'm going to share with you times I've got off this path and how I've gotten back on it and how to actually frame your life so you can become wealthy. You can potentially become a millionaire. And I believe if you do this and you do it right, you will. Some other of you are overlooking what I'm going to tell you. I already said reprogramming and you're ready to go. Because you think there's some other way that's going to be like a walk in the park to make you money. So if that's you, please go, because that's not the people I will even want to talk to. What we're going to talk about right now is our inner game and why a lot of us growing up were taught wrong. And it wasn't the fault of our parents. It wasn't their parents. It wasn't your grandparents' fault. It was just the way of the world. And you have the opportunity now to wake up, find new information, and maybe look at the world through a new lens. So let's hop in. What are we doing? There's a problem we have going on because there's a way too many of us. They're unfulfilled. We're not happy. We're not disciplined enough to do what we know we want to do. And we're not only broke, but we're broken. We're broken, and we're living lives filled with regret. And the mission is simple. I don't just make these videos because I want to come on here and help people. Yes, I do. Or I want to be a coach, or I'm trying to be some kind of guru. That's not it at all. I want to create a powerful community of people on a mission who are trying to be actualized, self-actualization, trying to get and become the best version of themselves. And the goal isn't to reach your potential. The goal is to work towards reaching your potential and making that a life purpose so we can be fulfilled, we can be happy, we can attract abundance, we can attract money, we can attract success, and we can ultimately live life on our own terms and be fulfilled. So this is why the mission is important. And I'm hoping one day you and I can hang out, we can work out, we can exercise, we can get better, we can talk, we can get together and journal and meditate and get on this journey together. So I'm excited about this video, y'all, if you can't tell. This is really my purpose. So I want to start by talking about the two paradigms that people live in. And we're going to start with paradigm B. And we're not even going to really talk about paradigm A. Paradigm B is where the wealthy people in this world, where the successful people live. This is the paradigm they operate in. And for example, a paradigm is a way that we view the world. It's a lens that we see the world through. We operate and we act. And I've noticed there's two paradigms that people live in. So if you're watching this right now and you're like, oh man, this mindset isn't for me. It's, you're playing victim and you're just not in it. And you're just like, yo, this is fake. This isn't real. I understand, but you're in paradigm A. And it's not a diss to you. I'm in paradigm A sometimes, and I'll explain the difference. Sometimes I slip back to it. But the winners are in paradigm B. And the people in paradigm B are doing things like this. They're creating their own life. They're taking ultimate accountability. If you've watched my channel, you've heard me talk about this. No complaining, no victim mode, no victim mentality. They're not letting their circumstance dictate their future, right? Because the truth is, all of these things in the world are happening to us. We have the choice on how we respond. So if we want to be like, oh man, this is sad, and I'm never going to be anything from this, and it's just the life pushes me down. You keep telling yourself stories and operating off stories that give you no power and give you no control. And it ultimately leads to more of the same. And we'll talk more about that in a second, why it leads to more of the same. But the most important thing you need to know is the winners and the wealthy, if you want to start thinking of being in the millionaire, bracket, millionaire, multimillionaire, millionaires not even a lot these days. You got to start moving into paradigm B, where you're a creator. You take ultimate accountability. Everything is your fault. And there's going to be times where you get slipped up, but you need to get back into that and start taking ownership of the results you get and believe that you can do, be, or have anything you want. This is paradigm B. Paradigm A is the exact same thing, except opposite. You're a victim. Nothing can work for you. And winners don't live there. And I'll use the word broke, but even more important here, broken and powerless. And you're not a bad person if you're here. I want to reiterate that. But to get to the next level, you need to get into a new paradigm. You need to start seeing the world differently. Even some of the worst things in the world that could happen to you, that you could imagine, could potentially be some of the best, depending on how you look at it. I could look back in my life, and you probably could too. On the other side of all the worst things that happened in your life up to this point, you could go back and say it led you to something even more amazing and even better. I know I can. Hopefully, if you've lived a little bit, you can too. The other day, I had a comment on one of my posts, and you may be someone in Paradigm A watching this, and we want people in Paradigm A watching this because I am sometimes too. And they're like, Jack, you've lived such a privileged life. Like you don't know what I've been through. You've had it easy, and you can say this, but it's not true. It's fake. And the truth is, I have a lot of empathy for that comment. I do. I understand it. And my first reaction was like, am I wrong? Like, maybe I have had it easy. And that was my first thought. But what I realized is that comment is coming from Paradigm A. And it's easy to shift back there if I wanted to go there. But our beliefs about life and how it works are so different, right? So Paradigm A and Paradigm B, people in Paradigm A and Paradigm B, it's so different, and it's hard to get on the same page. So if even I could sit down with you for days, we could talk for days, and you may not even hear me. You may not even be willing to change and do more. And this person who commented this, they could absolutely move into a new way of thinking of the world, no matter how hard their life has been. We could look at Nelson Mandela. We could look at people who lived some of the hardest lives ever, and they came out and, had no anger, had no remorse, or had no real hatred built up inside of them where they wanted to get back, and they went on to live an amazing life. We would all say Nelson Mandela was one of the most influential people in the world. And so they could absolutely, you can shift paradigms anytime. And I can almost guarantee that if you aren't open to seeing things a new way, if this guy's not open to like other perspectives and immediately just shuts this off, I get it. It's hard. A lot of times it feels like the life is happening to you. It does. But you're in charge of your response. And I can guarantee you, if he doesn't open up, it's going to be more of the same. His life's going to be hard. Whatever he said, nobody's going to understand. And he's never going to ultimately, I hope he does, but he may not ever change, and it may just continue. So I want to start with that, because now you understand the paradigms. Paradigm A, broken. Paradigm B, accountability, wealthy. And so there were times I've slipped in, I said this a second ago, I've slipped into A because this is how I was taught growing up. Remember, I said, like, most of us aren't taught that we can control the outcomes. We can control our responses. I'm going to teach you how to do that here shortly. But the next successful principle you need to understand is alignment. Okay, and this is going to be a very complex topic. When you feel good about something or a subject, you are aligned with this topic. If you feel bad, like if you notice, like I feel anxious, I feel angry, you don't feel at peace, or you don't feel calm or excited, what you would call a positive emotion, you are not in alignment. The way of thinking is out of alignment. And to be successful, you need to get into alignment as much as possible. Now, that's a very simplified version. I'm going to tell you why you feel good and why you feel bad. So how it works is alignment and inside of ourselves to get into alignment, right? So you have an inner self, and then you have an ego self. Your inner self is like your guidance system. A lot of people may call this the Holy Spirit. If you're Christian, if you're talking, it's like almost God's talking to you. It may be a intelligence. It could be, some people call it intuition. I said guidance system. This guidance system, this inner intelligence, knows exactly what you want. Now, your ego self is who you are programmed to be, what you were taught. We call it your false self. You've been conditioned throughout your life. Like you might have heard things like money doesn't grow on trees, or I'm not good at math, other limiting beliefs, as I wrote down there. I'm not, maybe I'm not athletic, or whatever you want to say. All the things that we picked up and stories that we picked up over time about ourselves. And it usually comes in the form of emotion like anxiety, fear, worry, depression, sometimes even comes up as illness. And so I want to be clear on what alignment is. Your inner self is always there. It knows what you want. It knows what you need to do. And a lot of times we can't hear it because it's clouded by this ego self. And you may think something like, let's think of something that we run into every day. I'm going to be late to go to meet a friend. And you start to stress. Your inner self is telling you inside, it's all good. Like you're going to get there when you get there. There's no hurry. Take your time. You're in perfect timing. Your ego self is starting to get anxious, like, oh, they're going to be waiting on me. I hate to make them wait. And you start to feel this. That feeling is the difference between your inner and your ego self. And with that feeling that I'm going to be late and you start to get stressed and sped up, it's alignment. It means it's out. Actually, it means you're out of alignment. Excuse me. So if you were in alignment, you would go back to the thought of the inner self. Hey, I'm in perfect timing. Everything's happening at a perfect point. And so this is how we describe alignment. And what this looks like in your journey. This is a very complex topic. So y'all, if y'all are used to scrolling on TikTok all day and getting like dopamine hits every 3 seconds and you can't focus, you're not going to make it through this one. But this is a very deep topic, and it's very important to learn how to get into alignment and listen to your inner guidance system. And the more you can feel good, which is we're going to lead us to the next part, the more you're going to get into a state that gets you into a new life. Think of all the things in your life right now that throw you out of alignment. Again, let's replace alignment with feeling good. That throw you out of feeling good. Oh, I look at my bank account. I don't have enough money. I look at my bills. Oh, we got more bills. I haven't paid these people yet. I look at my school. Oh my God, I haven't studied. I'm behind on school. There's a alignment thought for each one of those. And you can find them. For me, a lot of times in our business, I look around and we're not closing 10 deals a day. I'm like, dang, our team isn't closing enough deals. And that thought feels bad. Why? Why does that thought feel bad to me? I don't think this deep, but it's like, oh man, the ads aren't working. We're going to lose money. I'm going to let the team down. I'm going to go broke. I'm going to die alone. I don't go that deep, but my first thought is like, we're not closing enough deals. And then deep down, there's all these other thoughts that are out of alignment. And I know this because I feel not good. And a lot of us aren't aware. Like if you're a beginner at this, it's fine, but you're not aware of these. You think it's just you. You think that you're supposed to feel this stress and this worry and this frustration and maybe get mad at people. So it's one of those things where you have to start to wake up and be aware. And we're going to talk more about how this works and how you can start to change and be in alignment with your inner self. I'm just telling you, the more you find alignment, the easier it's going to be your path. And making money, being successful, doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't require a lot of work. You don't have to effort to make a lot of money. You don't have to. A lot of people do, and they can still make money, but there's way more to be had if they don't. Because if you look at it, stress and all this worry, it doesn't really help you. It does help you in the way that it's an inner guidance system telling you it's out of alignment, right? So this is very important. And again, we all have them, and we can talk more about how to get into alignment if you want me to do a whole video on that. But like, we're going to talk slightly on how, like, things you can do to be in alignment more. But let's talk about how it works next. So it goes like this, right? So thoughts, emotions, attraction. What you think, the thoughts that you're thinking, turn into the emotions. So if you're thinking out of alignment thoughts, you turn into emotions that don't feel good. Stress, worry, anxiety. A low vibrational emotion. They're slower. Now, if you're thinking good thoughts in alignment, your emotions, you have good emotions, you have excitement, you have focus, you have calmness, you have energy. These are higher vibrations. And it leads to better feeling emotions. And then it goes into attraction, where you start to bring people, you start to bring opportunity, you start to bring money, you start to bring the things that you want, that your inner being, your inner guidance system knows that you already want. They start to flow. The opportunities doors start to open. Now, for some of y'all, you're like, yo, this is way too spiritual. This is way too woo-woo. It can't be real. That's understandable. And I'll give you bear with me, I'll give you another way to put it as well. But this is so important in understanding how you attract. And you can also attract bad things. You don't even need to know about this. I want you to think back in your life. Can you think of a real time in your life that you attracted something? For me, I remember as a kid, I've told this story before, I was like visualizing this playing baseball. I was playing like baseball like for the church, and I visualized it, and it was like a triple play. Literally, this girl, I was playing with girls and stuff. It was a co-ed league, but this girl ran by me. I tagged her, but I saw that. Like, I kept thinking about it. I was like, is this possible? And the exact play happened in the game. Is there any time in your life that you can think back where this has happened? You've like attracted something. You felt it. You felt good about it. You weren't stressed. A lot of us are trying to attract money, but we're trying to attract money from a place of not having money, and it's very hard. And I have more for you on that. But this is super, super valuable, y'all. Understand how this works. In the Bible, there's a lot of passage. There's a lot of scripture that talks about this. And if you're Christian or you're a spiritual person, here are some examples. We can all agree that the Bible is a very historical text. And so whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. For as he thinketh in his heart, so as he, ask and it shall be given, seek and you shall find. There's all kind of overlap and a lot of religions are pointing at what I'm telling you right now. So when we go back here, you want to think about good. You want to be aware of what you think about. If you catch yourself thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna be late," you're going to start feeling it, and it's going to start coming up as emotion, and then you're going to attract more things in your life like that. You're going to attract that feeling more. You're going to maybe attract traffic. It usually doesn't happen that quick, but it can, depending on your resistance to it, depending on how in alignment you are with what you are attracting. So if you're doing it a lot, expect more of it. Now, for those of you who are like way too practical and you're like, this is way too woo-woo, I don't believe in like attracts like, and what I think, comes to me. I can just think, right? Let's put it this way. Instead of thoughts, emotions, attraction, let's just say thoughts, emotion, and action. If you're thinking in alignment, you're going to feel good. And every time you feel good, you're going to go out there and you're going to want to do it. You're going to want to go out and take the action. It's not going to be action that's required. It's going to be inspired. It's going to flow. You're going to just get into this flow state and get into it and actually be pulled into taking action. And it's going to be easy. And so start to think in ways that are positive, that lead to good feelings, that will lead you to take action. And we can all agree that the right action will lead to you seeing results. Okay. I don't want you to think that I'm saying you can just think it and it'll come. What happens is it goes right down this way. Thoughts, emotions, and attraction. It flows just like this. You think it, you feel good, and you attract the opportunities. You take action. It doesn't mean don't take action, but it means take action from a place of alignment. It doesn't mean go force yourself and struggle. If you're thinking, oh, this is going to be hard, this is going to be tough, you're thinking about it the wrong way. And so you need to line up your thoughts. Like, we all have procrastination. Like, even for this video, right? I was so excited, like I told you, and now I was so excited to do it. I put it together. I was like, do we want to shoot it, man? Do we really want to shoot it right now? And I was thinking about it the wrong way. And so I sat there and I started thinking about how many people I was going to help. I just switched the perspective. How many people can this actually touch? Is it possible that this could be a catalyst for a new type of video where I really go more into this personal development? And I've been doing it, but I haven't done one this deep. And so I started to think like that. So thoughts, emotion, actions, if you're more practical and you're like, this is too woo-woo, take it. I'm just telling you, it's either way way you want to do it. The next key here, becoming a millionaire, play to win. Have you ever watched a basketball game and team's up by 12, 3 minutes left, they start stalling, they start holding the ball, they don't want to lose the game. We've all seen it. And what happens? A lot of the times, the other team starts coming back. And sometimes the other team even wins if they stay in stall mode too long and they don't at least try to score. And so play this game to win. Play this game of life to win. Expect to win. Don't get conservative. Last year, I had the biggest year of my life. I don't know if I said this already, but we did, in the last few years, I've done $3 million online. I'm pretty proud of that. It's not amazing. It's really good. It's for a lot of people, but I obviously had even bigger ideas, and we had so many things happen. Like, our ad account got shut down, our payment processor got shut down. We had a client that was getting started in one of our higher packages. He sent us $25,000. Instead of sending it to us, he actually withdrew it out of our bank. Great guy, love him to death. He sent it back, obviously. So we're really down $50K in one day, which is wild. And because of that, because the bank, he drew it from the bank on accident, my bank it froze my bank account, and it was frozen for 3 months. I could send money out, but I had to go up there and approve it every single time for payday. It was so annoying. And this just started beating me down. And I started getting out of alignment, what I talked about. I started noticing I wasn't having fun. I was getting stressed out. And I just got to the point where I was just beat down. I was like, is this worth it, man? This is tough. And that's what entrepreneurship is, man. It's tough. But I started going to conservation mode. And I wasn't playing to win. I started cutting off that alignment and that flow. And it, like I said, it just became not fun, and I started to feel bad. I started to escape. I would try to do things for fun because I was so stressed out, and I didn't realize it was just my reaction to it. It wasn't those things that were stressing me out. I got into paradigm A, where I didn't have any control, and I didn't take accountability, and I started to wonder, are we going down? Is this what, the world's against me, man? Are we supposed? I started saying things like that, my bank account, all these things. It was icky. I didn't even know I was doing it. It just slept in. I've been out here preaching this stuff. And before that, like the 8 years before that, dude, I was all in. All I did was meditation, like personal development, hard work. And I really changed my mindset, and I broke through like the chains of like what I used to think. And I saw some success, and things started happening, and I let it slip back in. And I wasn't even aware of it. And I'm just so grateful that I'm making this video for me as much as y'all too, because I'm going to need a reminder again, I'm sure. I'm still working on it. But I know this is how winners win, and I can already feel it. I can see everything changing as my vibration's starting to come up. I'm also watching Donald Trump, and now you don't have to be a fan of him. I didn't vote for him back in the day. I didn't vote because I just feel like the presidential election, sometimes there's not any good candidate, but it's like they don't have much of an effect on my life. It's more like a dressing show or like a fashion show or something, like who's the coolest. They're all just going to say stuff that's not real. But I look at Trump, and I've started to grow a lot of respect for him over the last few years because he's running for election, and they are literally coming after him, lawsuits. And the thing that I admire, they're trying to literally, there's like, he's going to be in jail, they're going to court. And the craziest thing that I admire about him is he's just standing on business, straight up. He's just walking into the courtroom and being a complete dog. And like he's still keeping his campaign going, and they're going after him, and he hasn't let it affect him at all, or at least he's not showing. He's just standing strong. And I admire that a lot, because that same thing was happening to me in my business on a way smaller scale. We weren't in trouble at all, or anything serious was happening. I just thought it was stressful, and I started to get off track. So just seeing him do that is an example of, seeing people do it really successful at a high level. The next part is try less hard, want it less. Want success less. And this is crazy because I just told you to play to win, right? And I just told you all these things that, how to reprogram your mind for a millionaire. I'm going to explain exactly what I mean by this. I had one of our guys on our team come to town, and he came to our facility here, and we were working with him, and he just wanted success so bad. And when we go back to being in alignment and attracting success, I want you to think about it like this. I want to make myself a little bit bigger. All right, so I want you to think about it like this. You ever wanted a girl or a guy, let's say, whoever you wanted them so bad, and you try to get them, and they just went the other direction. When you want something, we said this a little bit earlier, but you're coming from a place of not having it. You need to act as if, become the person you would be if you already had it. And so a lot of us were like, I want that so bad. And he's like, Jack, but you're telling me you got to want it. You got to go after it. Yes, but your desires are already known. Your inner self already knows your desires and what you want, but you need to let it flow, and you need to be light. And every time you're stressing about it, it's out of alignment with it, so you're not getting towards it. You're attracting more of what you don't have. So what I like to do is start giving thanks for the things that I do have. So try less hard. Don't be like, I need it. It's just going to run from you. You can't chase money. You have to give value and let money flow to you. That's how successful, wealthy people think. And so when you feel yourself stressed about money, give thanks in your head. Maybe just take a second and just say, thank you for the money that I do have and the opportunity that I do have. And the money that I've been able to save up that is going to be huge, that's going to multiply. And if it feels so fake, like, that's fine. If it feels so fake, like, another thing that some people say, like, money's coming to me, it's flowing, like it's all coming. If it just you don't feel that, then it's okay. Then don't push into it. Just try to find things you're thankful for. It doesn't even have to be money. Get off that subject entirely. Maybe thankful for the ability to see or hear or walk or talk or communicate or to improve. That's my favorite thing. I'm thankful for the ability to improve and get better. Because I know as far down as I go, I can improve and get better and come back. That's what I'm thankful for. If that ever leaves, then I'll be scared. But that's not going to, we can always get better. We can always regenerate. We can always improve. And so try less hard. Don't squeeze it too tight. Because if you want it too bad, it's going to run from you. And all you're putting out the vibration that it's not, that you don't have it. And guess what? You get more of, you don't have it. That's what shows up. You take more action. If you go the action route, instead of attracting more, you don't have it, you go like, oh man, this is never going to work for me. And you take no action and you never even see any results. So try less hard. The next one, give. So another level above being grateful for the things you have, give what you can. If it's time, if it's money, if it's a ride or help, be careful, like be safe. But just giving signals to God, universe, to yourself at minimum that you have enough and you are in abundance. Because when you're tight and you're holding on, you're just telling the world that I don't have enough, I can't give it, and you just get more of it. Give, help somebody. It feels good, but don't do it for that. Do it to help them. And I promise you, weirdly enough, man, every time I give, something amazing. I'm trying to go give the day, man. I had another video earlier a few weeks ago that was like, yo, I'm committing to giving more. And I want to do that. And I've been doing that. So I want to find people that I can help and ultimately give. And it's not for social media. It's just because I can. And so do this. It signals wealth. It signals success, not to them, but to this world and this universe and even to yourself. And it'll ultimately come back. All right. So next is manage money. Second to last slide here. Wrong button. There we go. So manage your money. Pay yourself first. You need to figure out how you're gonna spend the money that you do have. So if you always spend less than you earn, you're gonna start making money. You're gonna start saving money and stacking it up. Instead of buying things for, other people. Remember, try to figure out why you want the things you buy. Is it because I think other people will look good and other people will think that? Or do you actually need it and it's something that you truly want? So ask yourself that. And if it's not something that's truly going to add that much value to you, don't do it. Don't buy it. It's fine. I'm not saying be stingy. You should go out and spend money and be free. That's more abundance. And I'm not saying definitely not hold on tight. But also don't buy things that make you look better because, other people may look at you and see something. Don't do that. It's not worth it. And the next part is pay yourself first. Take 10 to 20% of your money that you earn, put it aside before you pay your bills, before you pay anybody else. Take it, put it aside, and that way you can start stacking. Even before you pay taxes. Now, I'm not saying you aren't going to pay taxes, right? You're all paying taxes, but take the money, move it aside, and then use that way you have another pile over here that you live off of, you pay taxes from, and you pay your bills, your food, and that way you know that it doesn't look like you have more than you do because that's stacked up over there. Simple as that. The last one is personal development, y'all. And that's what this channel is, along with remote sales. You got to start working on yourself. Start putting in the time, the effort. If you've made it this far and you're watching the video, you're absolutely on the right track. You're doing it. And for me, and we talked earlier about getting into sales, learning new skills. What I do is remote sales and what we help people get started with, because I think it's, for most people, it's like the best personal development actually skill you can learn. You got to learn how to talk to people, communicate, be confident, hustle, go get your own. When I learned that wealthy people, what they do is they don't trade their time for money. They trade the value they bring for money. And when I can go out and make sales and bring money in and I can make more and more and more with no limit, I'm like, I'm all in. And so this is why I'm so big on personal development. It's doing things like we're talking about today, learning more about yourself. It's doing things like studying, meditating, journaling. And these are all things that can help get you in alignment to see the success and start being reprogrammed like a millionaire. Start moving in the paradigm B. Start noticing your thoughts, which come into emotions, which come into attraction, or goes into action. And start to becoming the best version of yourself. This is the mission we're on. And hopefully, y'all, we're going to be together. We're going to be grouped up because there's a world of distractions out there. There's a world of things that want to keep you. And I don't think it's intentional, most of them, but they're just ways to keep you in the place you are now. I don't think there's like a guy up there like looking down and trying to hold you back, because the enemy is not anybody else. Remember, it's ultimate accountability. There's no people up top that are trying to hold you down. There may be, but we're not going to say that. The enemy's yourself and what you accept and what you allow and the way you look, the lens you look through the world. And what do you see? Do you see opportunity? Do you see things to be grateful for? If you do, you're on the right path and you're started. If not, let's start working now. Let's move in. That's the whole purpose. That journey is what I'm here for. And I want to build a community of people just like you to beat yourself. It's time to beat the old you and start to progress and start to model a new way of life for yourself, a new way of looking at everything. This is how to think and reprogram yourself like a millionaire. I'm proud of you for watching this long. Appreciate y'all's time. Can't wait to show y'all more. Again, put in the comments if there was a time that you felt, hey, I might have attracted this. The way I was thinking and the way I felt about it, I felt good. It was effortless. Another exercise you can do, put that story in the comments though, but another exercise you can do is like when you go to sleep tonight, think about ladders. Just think about ladders. A ladder that you put on a wall and you climb up and you paint, or you go grab something, or you fix something on the roof, like a ladder like that. Just think about it for 30 seconds. There's no resistance there. There's nothing like, oh, I can't get a ladder. There's no beliefs that are going to, just notice that if you start seeing ladders, if you start to actually see ladders more, and if you do, then you know there's probably something to this. What you put your attention on grows. Where energy goes, where attention goes, energy flows. Right? Yes. Where your attention goes, energy flows. Where your attention goes, it grows. I appreciate you. Peace.